Hello students. So we already learned about networks. Okay, now we will go to the introduction to Java. So in the introduction to Java, so we have to understand the history of Java. So in 1990s, it's long ago. So Sun Microsystems, it is a US based company, has conceived a project to develop software for electronic devices. So today we are regularly using so many electronic devices, and those are actually controlled by remotes, right? Like TVs, ACs, right? Even some door lock system and opening doors, home doors and all. Okay, so everything actually they are controlled by remotes, right? So to develop a software for these electronic devices, and those are actually controlled by the remote. So that project is conceived by they want to develop by Sun Microsystems in 1990. They thought like that. Okay, so the project is named as a Steel project, and that is later is also called as a Green project. And the team members in the project development are James Gosling, Mike Patrick and Bill Joy. Okay, so these are the 4 members in the project as a team, and these team members are collectively, and these team members are also called as a green team. Why? Because they are developing green project. Okay, so now when it comes to the James Gosling, he is the person. Okay, so he is the person, Mr. James Gosling, and treated as a father of Java. So because he identified the programming language for the green project. I think you may understand now why we are discussing about a green project and James Gosling and all. Okay, so the Sun Microsystems want to develop a software for the electronic devices, and those are actually controlled by the remote. And the team members are James Gosling, Mike, Patrick and Bill. Okay, these are people want to develop a software. So software obviously require a programming language. Okay, so they develop a programming language is nothing but Java. Okay, so in the team members, James Gosling is the person who develop means who contribute more for his effort to the development of Java. That's why he is called as a father of Java. Okay, so he identified the programming language for Green project in 1991, and the first version of Java is the releasing for first version. It will take 18 months. Okay, so next, symbol of Java. If you observe here, okay, so it seems to be a cup of with something like a vaporizing, right? Okay, some snow is there like that. So that kind of symbol is nothing but a coffee cup actually. Okay, so they directly said we are defining, we are giving a symbol for Java language is nothing but a coffee cup. Okay, so there is a funny issue also. Why they give why they give a coffee cup as a symbol? So they give an explanation that we consume more coffee while developing the language. That's why with a love we are giving a coffee cup symbol to that. Okay, so and one more thing is okay, coffee cup. So why Java? Okay, the name of a language, why Java means Java is an island of Indonesia where the first coffee was produced. Okay, so they love coffee, they consumed more coffee while developing the language. That's why they gave a coffee cup symbol as a symbol to the language, as well as they named the language as Java. So because the first coffee is produced at Java island of Indonesia. Okay, hope you understand. So what is the Java? Why they give a symbol coffee cup, and so who is the father of Java language? Okay, and first now we can call the language is a Java. Okay, but before that it has so many names before Java. Okay, so what are those? We'll look it first. So firstly, the language was called as a Green Talk. by James Gosling with a file extension was .gt. Okay, so initially the Java name is is given as green talk, and with an example, for example, if it is a C language, .c we have now. So if it is a green talk language, we have a .gt. Okay, and after that they changed the language name again to OAK. So it is a OAK tree. Okay, so this is a OAK tree, and they name the language as OAK. Okay, so why OAK means OAK is a symbol of a strength and chosen as a national tree of many countries like USA, France, Germany, Romania. Okay, so all these countries symbol national tree, like how we have some national trees and for every country. So there they choose a OAK tree as a name for the language. Okay, but in 1995 again they changed the name for the language as Java. Why? Because the name is already trademarked by the OAK technology. That means some other company with a different products, they have already name as a OAK technology. So if you define a name language OAK, maybe some microsystem they think like that, so the product is from the OAK technology. That's why they again changed the name finally with love. So on coffee they give a name as a Java. Okay, so this is a history of Java. Okay, so when comes to the evolution of Java, evolution is nothing but how the language is generated from the first version to the till now, how they are evaluated. So means Java version history. So sorry, by mistaken I defined a Java SE. That is not actually right. Okay, so in 1995, so Java JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, it is a collective. Okay, so alpha and beta version release, and in 1996 1.0, 1.1, 1.J2SC. So I will tell you what is JDK and J2SC. You just remember, you just see what are the different, what are the years I am specifying here. So how the language getting modified. Okay, how the versions are releasing. Okay, so what is basically a version. Okay, so now you are using Android mobiles in your hand. Every hand you have an Android mobiles, right? But when it comes to the older days of before 30 years back. Okay, so what is there? Is there any mobile? No. Is there some? It is very difficult to have a landline also, right? Okay, so it means there are so many of changes from the landline to handset. Handset, in that also we don't have any color panels, just a keypad is there. Okay, now we have a touch panels. Okay, sensors like that. So many of innovations are there in the mobile generations only. Okay, like that. Version is nothing but features adding. Okay, so alpha beta we can treat it as a basic features. Later we have 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 5.0, 6, 7, 8. So like that till 14 we have it. Okay, so now we are in 2020. So other versions also there. So SE 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so till now what is the latest version? We have a 15. Okay, Java SE 15. I will tell you what is SE and what is JDK and all. Okay, so and they also announced the next releases also for March 21, September 21. We have other releases also, other versions releases also there. Okay, so like that the company announced. Okay, so this is the Java version history. Means version is nothing but features. So initially Java gives only few features, around 100 and all. Okay, later on we can add a few more features, 200, 300. Okay, so the version defines adding of new features only. Okay, so then what is a JDK, J2SE? Okay, so what is SC? Okay, so JDK stands for Java Development Kit. Next slide we will discuss. And the next one, J2SE, Java 2 Standard Edition and SE Standard Edition. Okay, in the next slides we will see what is Standard Edition, JDK and all. Okay, what you have to point, I am trying to point here. So this is the way the Java language developed from with the basic features to the from advanced features. Okay. So yeah, not only mobile or not only language, everything, even in human development also we have a lot of things. Now we are in like we are sending emails to everyone, but in the early days we don't have any emails, internet, nothing is there. Okay, once upon a time the people will go and send a message, right, from one location to another location. The people have to go on, later on they will write letters, right, and later on they will make a calls. And now the people will do some mails. Okay, so WhatsApp is the chatting. Okay, so that is nothing but improvements, innovations. Okay, so that is simply called as, in the programming language, they give a name like a version. Okay, so that is the thing. So when it comes to the introduction to Java, so again we have to discuss a few things about Java. Okay, so already we completed some basic information on networks related things, and after that some history. Now we specifically enter into the Java issues. So Java is a programming language. What is a programming language? Again, programming language is nothing but a language that can be used to instruct a computer. Okay, and as well as a platform also. What is a platform? So we already discussed a platform or a system, dependent, independent. Then what is a platform? Platform is nothing but the hardware and the software in the computer, that is called as a platform. Okay, so now Java is act as a programming language. Programming language means it instruct the computer as well as it act as a platform. Means, so it provides the environment. Okay, so if you have an environment, you can develop a programs also, right? So that is nothing but a programming. Java can act as a programming language to develop programs, and it also provide environment where we can develop the programs. Okay, so the Java is a programming language as well as a platform. Okay, next. So this is the description related to programming. So programming language means it is a coded language used to write instructions to communicate a mission, nothing but a computer. And a platform is nothing but a hardware and a software environment where we can execute the programs, write and execute the programs. Okay. Now, so JRE, Java Runtime Environment. Okay, if you want to execute a Java programs, if you want to work with a Java, what you need actually, you need a Java Runtime Environment. Okay, so for using the C language to write a program in C language, you need a Turbo C, right? So IDE, Integrated Development Environment, you have to open a Turbo C. Okay, TC stands for Turbo C only, no? So in your system you need a Turbo C, then you can go with the command prompt, there you can type a TC, like that. So that is the environment for C language. Now JRE, here Java is a programming language as well as a platform. Now the platform is nothing but a JRE here. Okay, Java Runtime Environment. Okay, so in this also we have two parts. One is JDK, second one is a JSL. So now we have to learn the JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, so it contains a development tools. Okay, so these are the tools here actually: Java C, Java Document, Java H. Okay, so we'll see next. So Java Runtime Environment is nothing but a platform that is related to Java programming language. Okay, where we can write and execute the programs. Okay, so this environment is required to execute the Java program, Java Runtime Environment. Okay, if you want to install a Java means JRE you have to install, like that. And it consists in two parts, JDK and JSL. Java Development Kit, it contains some development tools. Okay, what we can look at them. And the next one, JSL. JSL means Java Standard Library. It contains a set of libraries. So I'm always remembering you the C language. Why? Because if I tell directly library, class, method, you don't know what is there, class, library and all. Okay, if I compare with the C now, it is better to understand. So in C language, you have header files, right? Okay, so what is the studio.h, conio.h, all nothing but header files, right? So that is nothing but, that is all predefined files. Okay, here also in Java, the terminology, the name of the files may be changed. Okay, so JSL stand library file. Okay, libraries is again nothing but classes. In the libraries, what we have classes only. In the classes we have methods only. While discussing about the object oriented programming, the basic feature of object oriented programs are nothing but class only. Okay, so class is nothing but collection of data and functions only. We discussed many things. Okay, so class consisting data and functions or procedures or methods only. How we can access those data with the help of object. Object is nothing but instance of a class. Okay, all we discussed. The thing is, you have to watch the previous videos what we uploaded in the website. Okay, then only you can understand. If you want to understand the third video, you have to complete the first and second only. Okay, otherwise if you directly come here, you don't understand anything. Okay, so JSL means Java Standard Library. It contains set of libraries, nothing but files only. Different name here. Okay, so it can again libraries. What is there in the library? Again, it consisting only classes and methods. Classes, in that we have methods. Okay, and other files that JVM uses at runtime. Okay, do you remember what is a JVM? JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine, whether it is a software or a hardware. Okay, it is actually a software program. So sometimes it uses some other files that is also there in the JSL only. Okay, so to execute the Java program, so we need a JRE, and we have in the JRE we have JDK and JSL. Okay, we will look at what is there in JDK and JSL. JDK, Java Development Kit. Here not only these four, we have many. I just specify what are very important. Okay, so Java C, Java compiler. Okay, so generally if you in the C, when you learn the C program also, so Alt F9 is for compiling and Control F9 for running, like that. Okay, you know very well, right? So here in the Java language, you are using the Java language, we need to use a Java C in the command prompt. Okay, so here Java C stands for Java compiler, and it is a compiler for the, and that means this is a code. Okay, this is a code to compile the Java program. Okay, and what is the role of this Java C is nothing but it translates the source code into the bytecode. Okay, again you have to remember what is bytecode. Bytecode is actually where it is actually exists. In the class file we have a bytecode. Bytecode is nothing but consisting instructions. The size of every instruction is nothing but 1 byte, 8 bits. That's why they are called as a bytecode instructions, and the file is called as a class file, bytecode file. Okay, so that is the thing. And the next one, Java, alone Java. Java is nothing but a language we know, platform we know, and Java here the interpreter also. Okay, so interpreter runs the bytecode instructions. Okay, so JDK consisting Java C compiler, and Java interpreter, both are used to execute the Java programs only, but they share the part. Okay, Java C compile the source code and gives the bytecode, and Java compile the bytecode and execute the instructions. Okay, finally it will give an output. Okay, so now Java doc and Java H, these maybe rarely we can use. So Java doc, it is nothing but HTML documentation. What is again HTML? I don't know whether you are know or not. Okay, so many subject concepts involved in Java. Okay, so it is a global language actually in the programming environment, not in the communication environment. Okay, so HTML, hypertext markup language, to develop web pages. Okay, you are opening Google page, right? So that is also developed by the HTML. Okay, so Java doc is a tool name, artist belongs to JDK. Okay, what is the purpose of this one? It will generate the HTML documentations for the Java source code. Okay, so already we write a Java source code. Java C, the role of Java C is nothing but it to translate the source code into bytecode. And Java interpreter, it runs the bytecode instructions. It will convert to the machine code instructions given to the microprocessor will execute. Okay, that is the thing. And Java C means for the source code it will generate the HTML documentation. Okay. So while working you may understand. So Java H, how we have a C header and stub generator used to write and native methods. Okay, predefined. Okay, Java H means how we have a header files in C, like that to access them what is there in the predefined file, so we can go with the Java H. Okay, so like a C header files only. Okay, now JSL, Java standard library. Okay, so library again nothing but like files or packages. In the C we can call them as a header files. Here we can call them as a packages. Okay, so java.language, all are important. Okay, java.language, java.util, java.io, java.applet, java.awt, java.net. Okay, all we used in the syllabus while working. Okay, so Java language. So if you want to work with the basic features of Java, what are the basic features of Java? Class, objective and methods, right? Okay, if you want to work with the basic concepts or features of Java, you can go with the java.language package. Okay, and if you want to work with the utility functions like time, date. Okay, so if you want to work these special kind of functions, you can go with the utility library. Okay, and input output, how we have stdio.h, stdio.h, standard input output, printf, scanf, all comes under stdio.h, right? So there in the replacement of stdio.h we have a java.io here. Okay, for input and output manipulations. And next one, applet is for creating an applet, and applet is nothing but a web application, right? Okay, so here we are open, so we'll see later all you can understand. Okay, if I say if for language and utility and IO I have a comparison for the C language with the C language. Okay, but when it comes to the applet, AWT, .NET, we don't have any comparison. Why? Because they are not there in the C language. Okay, these are new to Java. Applet means a web page kind of thing you can create. So for that we need java.applet. AWT, abstract window toolkit, means graphics and interfaces, radio buttons, check boxes and text boxes, all are there now. If you open any like applications, like maybe scholarship applications, any job applications, even MSET applications also, you can so many buttons, check boxes, radio. So in college also, while exams are going, you fill the paper printed applications, right? So if it is in the system generated, so that can also be possible with the AWT, java.net. So if you want to connect from one system to another system by remotely different locations, so that is possible with the java.net. Okay, all we see, all we can use while coming to the practical. Okay, we'll see in the later classes. Okay, next classes. So when it comes to the parts of Java, okay, so Java is a big language, and that's why it is actually partitioned into three different ways. One is Java SE, Java EE and Java ME. Java SE, Java Standard Edition. Java EE means Enterprise Edition. Java ME for what is a Java ME? We'll see. Micro Edition actually. Okay. Standard edition, enterprise edition, micro edition. Okay, so what is a standard edition means? So you are working with a Java as a programmer, developer, like that, no? So you are using the basic features of object-oriented programming language like a classes, objects, and all encapsulation units. All these object-oriented features all comes under the Java standard edition. Okay. So basic, so when it comes to the all versions, if you see, all SE standard edition manipulation, executions, addition of features all possible in the standard edition only. Okay, so when it comes to the enterprise edition, what is actually enterprise? Do you have any idea, guys? Okay, enterprise is nothing but organizations. If Java, actually initially it is comes under Sun Microsystems who developed the language. Now it is actually taken over by the Oracle. Okay, if Oracle is the company who is having a Java of their product, if this Oracle want to develop a software for the SBI bank or Indian bank, those are nothing but banks, organizations, enterprises. Okay, not only banks, for example any other companies, Infosys. Okay, so Oracle want to give a product to the Infosys, other software company. Okay, don't ask me questions, they are also software company, why don't they come, for example only I am taking. Okay, so if Oracle want to develop a software product to the other companies, it may be a bank, even in Indian Railways, Indian Air Force, or maybe Indian Army, Infosys, other software companies, other foreign companies. Okay, so whatever, like mobile companies. So that the part, the development thing, or maybe the features used for those kind of development are nothing but enterprise edition. Okay, we only concentrate entire syllabus, we only concentration on the Java SE only. Okay, maybe in your inter point of view also you have questions on Java SE. Okay, it is advanced like. So hope you understand what is EE, enterprise edition. If Java used for enterprise applications, that means a software products to others, other companies as a product. Okay, not a language, then that is nothing but enterprise edition. Now Java ME micro edition means chips, not potato chips actually. Okay, like SIM cards, memory cards, even processor also we have a chips, right? Like in core processors, in Intel Pentium core processor, and the next one even memory cards, and after that what are the different formats, portable devices. Portable devices means the size of those devices are nothing but like SIM cards. Okay, you can, that means micro devices. If you use a Java language for developing the micro devices, okay, then the entire development is actually called Java ME. Okay, even some space research center also, so some different chips available there. In that they will code different activities to hover the, like moving the missionaries, in the orbits, like. Okay, so for anyway, so in depth I don't want to tell you. Okay, so simply, if it is Java used for developing simple applications, academic purpose, and for general purpose, then that is called as a Java SE standard edition. Okay, basic features. If Java used for developing enterprise applications, then that is called as a enterprise edition. If Java is used for portable devices, like chips or maybe SIMs, memory cards, okay, different cards, so then that is nothing but a Java ME micro edition. Okay, so these are the parts of Java. We only concentration on the Java SE only. Okay, so features of Java. When it comes to the features of Java, so these are the features available in Java. These are also called as a buzzwords. Okay, the list is a simple, object oriented, distributed, robust, secure, system independence, portability, interpreted, high performance, multi-threaded, scalability, dynamic, all nothing but features of Java. Okay, so we'll look at one by one. What is a simple? So simple is nothing but, so what is simple basically? if you don't feel any complexity, that we can say as a simple, right? Okay, so by coming to the college and sitting in the class for 8 hours and listening the class, that is very much complex to you, right? Okay, so sitting at home and opening the website and reading, watching the video, that is also actually difficult. Okay, without exams, without any assignments, exams, assignments and all, if you promote it for the next semester, so that is a very simple thing, right? Okay, so that kind of simple is not possible for all cases. Okay, when it comes to the Java language, what is simple? So according to Sun Microsystems, Java language is actually developed from the features of C++. You don't know C++, you know C, right? So from C, C++ is actually developed. From C++, the Java is developed. How Sun Systems define that Java is a simple language? Who learns C language, then they feel very easy to learn the C++. In the same way, who learn C++, they will easy to learn Java. Okay, so in that way they define it is a simple language. Okay, the syntaxes or semantics of Java language are very much similar to C++. Even if you learn C++, you also say the same thing. Okay, it is also very much similar to the C. Okay, so that's why Java is a simple language to learn. There is no that much complexity to learn. Okay, so and here they removed many confusing topics what are there in the previous languages. Okay, why? So you don't need to compare with the C++, you can directly compare with the C only. Why? Because C++ is also from C only, right? So for example, pointer concepts are very difficult. I don't know whether you completely understand the pointers concept or not. So pointer is nothing but it shows the address. That is not actually what is a pointer. Okay, pointer is there are there is regarding pointers there is a exhaustive things are there. Okay, to learn. Okay, very much confused is there. So that kind of pointers is not there in Java. Okay, we are safe. We don't need to learn pointers. Okay, operator overloading. Okay, I think you know this operator overloading. So I will tell you an example. So if you use an 2 plus 3, 2 and 3 are the numbers, a plus is an arithmetic operator, 2 plus 3 is nothing but 5. Okay, you can say simply, if string 1 plus string 2, what is the output for the thing? String 1 plus string 2. Okay, so in the example 2 plus 3, 2 and 3 are numerical numbers, a plus is an operator, arithmetic operator. What is the meaning of that statement is nothing but addition of 2 and 3, then we have an output 5. Now you can tell me string 1 plus string 2. Okay, string concatenation, you know that program, right? Okay, you already done in the lab also. Okay, so the same plus operator, if you use in between numeric numbers, it will perform the arithmetic operator and it will give an output. But if you and also you are using the same plus in between string data, right? Then what is the output? The plus operator will concatenate, combine the strings, right? So operator overloading is nothing but you can use the same operator for the different purposes. Okay, so plus is actually arithmetic operator and it is also can be treated as a string concatenation operator also. Okay, so that is nothing but operator overloading. That is also not there in the Java. We are in a again safe state. Okay, so that means learning complexity reducing. So we need to learn what is useful for us, not no need to learn unnecessary things. Okay, so which are there in C and C++, not there in Java. Happy. Okay, so no need to remove unreferenced objects. Okay, so we already discussed objects in the initial. I am recalling them. Okay, so object is nothing but a representation to the class, where class consisting class data and methods. Okay, we already discussed an example of locker, and key, right? So key only the way we can access the locker. So if you create, I mean, and also we discussed that objects, we can create only one object to a class. No, we can create many objects. Okay, if you create many objects, somehow you may use one object, two objects. If you create 10 objects, you may or may not use them. Okay, and by mistake only. So while creating, so by knowing only we can create one object, two or second object, third object. Okay, by mistakenly if you create more objects, what is actually happening in other languages, they occupy the memory, they waste, they consume the memory. Okay, but in comes to the Java language, automatic garbage collection is a special quality there in Java language. It will automatically remove the or objects or whatever. Okay, automatically remove. So those are not using in the program. Okay, so if you created 10 objects, you are using only 5 objects. What about other 5 objects? It will remove. Automatic garbage collection. So will remove unreferenced objects. Those objects we are not using, then those can be removed by the Java automatically. Okay, so by knowing, by discussing all these, what we can say, so what are the complex things are not there in Java? So that's why we can simply say that Java is a simple language. For removing, here if you want to remove unreferenced objects not objects, anything. So if you declare a variable that you are not using, you have to do something. Okay, once you allocate a memory, you have to deallocate in other languages. Okay, C and C++. Okay, but here that kind of complexity is not there for the developer. Okay, so the everything is taken over by the Java only. Okay, we are in safe side. So object oriented programming, we discuss a set of topics. We discuss the basic concepts of object oriented programmer: object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. So these things are basic pillars of Java. 4 basic pillars are nothing but inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. Okay, for any building, minimum pillars are nothing but 4. Those are inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. In these 4 pillars we build a class and object. Okay, so need to discuss again. Object is an instance of a class. Class is a collection of objects, or class is a collection of data and methods. Inheritance is nothing but deriving the properties of deriving a new class from the existing class. Your parent, grandparent, that example we discussed now here. Polymorphism means exhibiting many forms. Means you yourself, student, son or daughter, sister or brother, friend, employer. Okay, all nothing but polymorphism. Abstraction, hiding. Okay, bike, while when we press the brake, so what is the internal we don't know. While ordering the biryani, we don't know what is there internally preparation. Okay, that is nothing but hiding. Only provide essential, required features to the others. Okay, not everything in detail. So encapsulation is nothing but wrapping. So tell me the example for encapsulation. Anyone? At least you can remember all those. Okay, no need to give the answer for me. Okay, at least you just remember what is the example. In this list only we have an example for encapsulation. Class. In the class we combined data and methods, right? Class is an best example for the encapsulation. Okay, so that is about object oriented. Java is a object oriented programming language. Why? Because it exhibits the object oriented features. Okay. Next one, distributed. Okay, what it means? Distributed means distribution, centralized. In basic real life, what is distributed? Okay, you are distributing chocolates in your for your birthday. Okay, right? Sweets for the festivals. Okay, greeting cards. Okay, so like that, distributing means sharing. Okay, so you can share data, files. Okay, whatever from one place to another place. That is nothing but a distributed. So we can create a distributed applications in Java. Okay, we may access files by calling the methods from any machine on the internet. Okay, so we can create files here. Now by reason we are at some other location, through internet we can call these files to there. Okay, so that is nothing but distributed. That is possible with the Java. Okay, so robust, what it mean? Robust is nothing but a strong. Okay, so everyone is strong in different aspects. So Java uses a strong memory management. Java is also very strong in strong memory management. What is meant by strong memory management? If memory is wasting, previously we discussed now automatic garbage collection. So if any unused data exists, then it will remove automatically. The same thing we are discussing. Memory management. If memory is wasting, consuming unnecessarily, it will remove them. Okay, so Java is a robust or strong language because it has a strong memory management and there is no pointers. Pointers is actually very headache. Okay, I don't know whether you like or dislike it, I don't know, but the thing is learning for you maybe learning is somewhat difficult, but actually it will break the security. Means you are giving not only ATM card, and along with a pin you are giving card with to thief. Okay, that is about pointers. Okay, so not only ATM, you can give pin also. If you, so pointers is same like a ATM plus pin is giving to thief. Okay, so it will break actually security. Okay, so అర్థమైంది మీకు? సో పాయింటర్స్ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే మన డేటాకి మనం ప్రొవైడ్ చేసిన సెక్యూరిటీని పాయింటర్స్ అనేది బ్రేక్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట. ఓకేనా, సో ఒకవేళ ఏటీఎం మిస్ అయితే మనం దాన్ని బ్లాక్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకేనా, సో ఏటీఎం వెనకే పిన్ రాసి మీరు ఇచ్చారనుకోండి, సో మీ బ్లాక్ చేసే లోపే మనీ అంతా పోతుంది కదా. ఓకేనా, సో దట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ ఇష్యూ అనమాట. Okay, so pointers break security, that is not there in the Java. That's why Java is a strong language. And automatic garbage collection is there, so that is also good. And there is exception handling. So while working in the C language, sometimes suddenly the window may close. So why? Because there is no exception, and so that means if there is an error, we have to understand it. The system has to show to us, we have to understand it, we have to rectify it. Okay, that kind of things sometimes is not there in the other programming language, but here exception handling is there. We can it's just like a checking mechanism. Okay, we can know the mistakes, we can handle them. Okay, so because of all these reasons we can say that Java is a robust language, strong language. Okay, so security. Okay, so basically what are the security problems? Okay, you can just think what how secure is Java. Okay, just of all, you have to understand what are the security issues in general we are facing. Okay, so eavesdropping is nothing but one security problem in the network. Reading others' data without their permission, we can read the data with the help of eavesdropping concept. Okay, and tampering means modifying others' data. So in news also people are we know very well about so someone face is morphing like some other. Okay, some nonsense will happening. Okay, modifying others data. Okay, so that is nothing but, so for example, if anybody want to transfer money to your account, okay, in between some other modify and write their account now. Okay, so that means modifying your account data with their account. Okay, so at result, finally what happened, so your amount will go to their account, right? So that is nothing but tampering. So impersonation, act as other. Okay, so you don't have an FB account, someone create an FB account with your name, your details and all. That means he may do some nonsense things in the internet. Okay, some wrong issues. Okay, so then that is called as a impersonation. Okay, virus is a program where it harms the data. So we are using antivirus in your laptops, or maybe in mobiles also we are using antivirus. That means it is a just like a program, all are softwares only. Okay, now the mechanism we are discussing. Virus is a program, it installed in our system, in our maybe phone. Sometimes we may save our Aadhaar cards, maybe bank passwords, ATM pins, some contacts, everything there in nowadays everyone is saving in the mobiles only, right? Okay, if that program will transfer this data from our mobile to some other location, okay, that is a very harm for us. Okay, so all are nothing but security problems are there in the network, and network in the sense internet. Okay, so all these security issues actually actually due to the use of these files. What are the files? Document files, exe files, executable files, image files. Okay, all are the basic reasons for these security issues. By documents files, exe files, image files only, we can get these kind of security issues. Okay, if you click on any document link, if you download any execute file, so these kind of security problems will reach us by using these kind of files. Okay, but when it comes to the Java, we don't have any these kind of files. Even we don't have an execute file, right? Document file, image file, exe files, we don't have any kind of files. What kind of file we have? Only class file we have, right? For class file there is no issue of these problems, security problems. Okay, so these are the security problems in the network, and how they will attack people is nothing but by with the help of these kind of files. Okay, but Java using class file, so there is no way, no chance to attack these kind of security for the people. Okay, when they are using Java. Okay, next one, system independence. Already we discussed. So what is dependent, what is independent? Dependent means once you write one location, that will not work in any other different system. Okay, that is called as a dependent. If not like that, that is called as a independent. Okay, so class file is nothing but a bytecode. So this class file is nothing but a system independent. So that's why Java is also a system independent language. Okay, next one, portability. Portability is nothing but giving results in same results in different location. Yes, now we can transform one file, one class file to another system, and there also it will give the same result. There is no issue of a platform dependency. Okay, that's why portability. Interpreted means so already we completed JVM, right? So Java contain, JVM contain both the interpreter and compiler. So that's why means interpreter also there. Interpreter means it will execute one by one. Definitely identify the mistakes in the code. Okay, so Java contain both interpreter and compiler. That is nothing but interpreter. High performance. So what is the use of containing both interpreter and compiler? We already discussed JIT compiler, and we took an example of print A, print B, and print A 1 to 10 times, right? In that example we calculate the time to execute statements, right? So what is time taken by the interpreter and what is the time taken by the compiler, and along with the JIT compiler, right? So that means, so it will the JVM will decides so whether interpreter takes the less time or compiler JIT takes less time. Okay, it will compare and it will give the task to the interpreter or else compiler. Okay, that means there is always a speed in the execution. Okay, so both interpreter and compiler we have, and they will execute the program as early as possible, high performance, plus taking less time. Okay, multi-threaded. Okay, so this thing is a very new. So it is actually related to operating system. You don't know operating system, I know. So process is nothing but program under execution. You write a C program, so C source code, like that you can call. But when it comes to the execution part, alt F9, control F9, after that it will give result. In between alt F9 and control F9, okay, so the program is actually called as a process. Okay, so program, entire statements and total program under execution, it is called as a process. Okay, now thread, a part of process. Maybe if a program consisting two functions, okay, so one function is treated as a one thread and another function is treated as another thread. Okay, so program under execution is called as a process. A part of a process is nothing but a thread. That kind of execution facility, that means no need to execute from top to bottom one by one. Okay, if a program consisting 10 functions are parallelly executed, okay, then what is the use of it? Means we are saving time now. Okay, so we are saving time with the help of thread and process concept. Okay, so actually we have a thread concept in Java. Okay, so process means executing entire thing at a time. Okay, program under execution means entire program under execution is called as a process. But when it comes to the thread, part of a process. Okay, so means threads will execute parallelly, not like a process, entire thing at a once. Threads will execute parallelly and they will share internal results also. So scalability means wide usages. Okay, Java is not only meant for classroom ల్యాబ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్స్. ఓకే, సో మీకు మాత్రమే క్లాస్లో ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్స్ చేసుకోవడానికి కాదు జావా అనేది. ఓకేనా, సో జావా ఈజ్ ఏ గ్లోబల్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్. సో వేర్ ఇట్ కెన్ బి యూజ్డ్ ఫర్ అప్రాక్సిమేట్లీ సో 3 million. So the number now it may increase. So 3 billion devices run Java. Okay, so it's a old story actually. So means scalability means Java is used in different applications like desktop applications, web applications, enterprise applications, mobile applications, games. Okay, wherever you want you can use Java freely. Okay, so that's why the expansions of Java is vast. Okay, so dynamic, static. I hope you know the difference. Okay, so static means we cannot change. Okay, so once you write the code, once you execute, okay, so once the exe file happen to the C language, you cannot change the file. But when it comes to the Java, not only for static applications, it can also be used for dynamic applications, means animations. Okay, so some games means you can add features whenever you want. If you develop like any application, not a program, I'm telling program, not I'm telling about a program. Okay, 10 lines of code, addition of 2 numbers, addition of 3 numbers, not like that. Okay, so if you develop a calculator with the C programming, you build the exe file. If you execute the exe file, you have a calculator. Okay, but when it comes to the Java, if you want to add a new features to the Java, that is also possible dynamically to the Java by using the Java language. Okay, so before Java, simply we can say before Java we have only static things, means once defined we cannot change. But with Java so we can also add new features, that is nothing but dynamic. The example is animations. Okay, so we already know the differences between C and Java, right? Okay, now sorry, not C and Java, I think object oriented and procedure, right? Okay, I forget actually, so I don't want to recall it. Okay, I will see later. So see differences between C++ and Java. Okay, you don't know actually C++. Then what is the need use of when we discuss about C++ and Java? But I will discuss. You understand what is there in C++ at least. Okay, you know C, right? You are going to learn Java. You discussed many things related to Java. Okay, you just compare. You know C. You know something about Java. Now you can compare with the C++. Okay, so first thing about object oriented programming. Okay, so C++ is a partial object oriented programming, whereas Java is a pure object oriented programming. What is object oriented programming? Any programming language exhibits object oriented features. We discussed now class, object, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance and everything. Okay, in that basic things are class and object. Class and objects will build on 4 pillars: encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, the abstraction. Okay, so when it comes to the C++, it is a partial. Why? Because we can write programs without object and class, but in Java we cannot write without an object. Okay, so that is the difference between partial and pure C++ and Java. And the next one, pointers available in C, C++ pointers available, but when it comes to the Java, pointers not available. Okay, so allocating memory and deallocating memory is the responsibility of the programmer. Okay, see now. Okay, so we have a much headache. Okay, learning of a language is a very difficult. Okay, so doing some specific tools also very difficult. But when it comes to the Java, so allocating and deallocating memory will be taken care by the JVM only. How it will do? With the help of automatic garbage collection. Okay, and C++ has go-to statement, but here we don't have any. C and C++ both has go-to statements. Okay, in Java we don't have a go-to. Go-to is nothing but jumping from one location to another location, jumping. So because of security reasons, in Java we don't have any go-to statement. Okay, next one, automatic casting is available in C++. Typecasting you already know in C, right? In C, C++, automatic casting is available in C++. Okay, so sometimes we need to convert them into a specific, we don't want to give a chance to the system to do that. Okay, sometimes it's required, so we have to specify this thing has to convert into this type. Okay, so into float, like that we have to specify. So that means in Java user also have a chance to do that, but in C++ automatic casting is done. Okay, and the next one, multiple inheritance. So inheritance you know very well, right? I hope so. Okay, inheritance is nothing but deriving new class from the existing class. Okay, so example, your parent and you derived surname from your parents. That is nothing but you are a new class, your parent is a existing class. Okay, so properties ni derived chestanu. Okay, so multiple inheritance, I will show you a diagram. So this is a multiple inheritance actually. Okay, so from more than one parent, new class. So these A and B and C both are all are classes. From A and B we are deriving a new class actually. Okay, so this is actually called as a multiple inheritance. We still we didn't see the types and explanation, but I'm telling what is a multiple inheritance. It is not there in Java, so that's why I'm showing. Okay, so deriving a class from the more than one class, that is called as a multiple inheritance. So which is there in C++, which is not there in Java. Okay, multiple inheritance feature is available in C++, no multiple inheritance, but there we have a chance to achieve it with the help of interfaces. Okay, actually we need multiple inheritance, but we cannot directly implement them. With the help of another concept in interfaces we achieve them. Okay, and this supports operator overloading. We already discussed now. Plus is an arithmetic operator and a string concatenation operator. These are the differences. The next one, 3 access specifiers. You don't know about access pairs, we already discussed in the first video. You don't know access specifier actually. How can I differentiate them? In C++ we have only 3 access specifiers. In C we don't have any access specifiers, right? Okay, so here in C++ we have 3 access specifiers. So in Java we have 4 access specifiers. Okay, so there is a big concept for it. There we can discuss. Okay, don't panic or don't confuse. Okay, so and the next one, 3 are not enough for feasibility. Java, in Java one more is added. Okay, that is a public private protected with a default. Okay, and constructors and destructors available. Destructors not there in Java. These are all new concepts. Okay, I'm just reading. If you are able to understand. Okay, it's a good thing. Otherwise you just leave. Okay, means at least what are the things we know till now, you understand those differences. Okay, so when it comes to the C++, the slogan is write once, compile everywhere. Okay, and when it comes to the Java, write once, run anywhere. The slogan of Java. That means, so unique executable for each target. Okay, we have to take the same exe file for different systems. But when it comes to here, we have only class file, and this can be run anywhere. Okay, but here the exe file cannot execute. Okay, again we have to compile in that system. Here we have to compile and run. Difference is there now. So when we write a program, we have to compile and next run it. Okay, Alt F9, Control F9, that is the thing. Here in Java we directly run them, no need to compile again. Okay, there we can save the time now. Okay, so no strict relation between class names and file names. Typically header file and implementation of files and are used for each classes. Okay, so naming conventions means int. If you see an example of data type int cannot be used as a user data type. For example, a name. So for example, age, name, gender, branch, all nothing but user defined variables. Okay, int cannot be used as a variable name, right? Here also in C++ there is no strict rules for them. Okay, for giving names, file names, like that. But here we have to follow some strict rules for the naming conventions we have to follow. Okay, and here we can use in C++. In C we have printf, scanf, right? In C++ we have a C in, C out. If it is an input, we can use two greater than symbols. If it is a C output, means we are printing it. Input means we are reading the data. Output means we are printing the data. We can use 2 less than. So those are called as aggregatements actually. Less than, greater than can be called as aggregatements. Okay. So where in Java we have a different. Okay. System.out.println. Println is also already there. There we can add some other keywords. System.out.println. Okay. So these are the input and output IO statements in the C++. System.out.println for only printing the data. Okay. Reading the data we have other ways. Okay. So these are the difference between the C++ and Java. Okay, so how much is possible for you, you can understand them. If you didn't understand, you make a note of them. Okay, whenever we have that kind of a topic, for example, here we discussed about a constructor, destructor and all, right? So we have a topic, special topic in the next classes in the syllabus. Okay, when we discuss, you remember this now. Okay, so that is the thing I am telling. Okay, so now tell me the answers for these questions. Why Wake was renamed as Java? Tell me. So what is the latest version of Java release? And who is the father of Java? Can anyone? Okay, you just recall. So it is a video, recorded video. Na, you cannot give a direct answers to me. You just recall. I'm telling that only. Okay. So why pointers eliminated from Java? What is the difference between a function and a method? I think this you don't know till now. Okay. So how Java achieved platform dependency? How Java enabled high performance? What is the difference between process and threads? Okay, except this I think so function and method very simple difference. Okay, so remaining all we discussed here. Okay, I think you recall. Now see the answers. So who is the father of Java? James Gosling. Okay, so even 4 people we have as a green team. Okay, James Gosling is the key person who developed the language. Okay, for the green project they share the different activities. One will do the back end, one will do the resources, one will do the some other. But James Gosling is the person who developed the language. Okay, so next, why OAK was renamed as Java? So the name is already registered by some other company. Okay, so OAK Technologies is already there, so that's why so they changed the name as a Java. And what is the latest version of Java? Java SE 14. Latest version means till now means March 20. Okay, March 20 we completed. But when it comes to this March 21, September 21, we have other versions. But we have to tell only Java SE 14 till March 2020. Okay. So why pointers eliminated from Java? So they are actually breached the security. That's why break the security. So then we eliminated. Not we actually. People, Java people. Okay, James Gosling. And what is the difference between function and method? Okay. So methods. So this is a very basic question you will face in the interviews. Method written within the class. In Java we have a classes. In the classes we have a methods. Okay. So functions written outside the class. Okay, so in C++ it is there actually. Okay, in C you don't have any classes. You have only functions, right? Main method. Okay, like that you have other methods also. Okay, all methods can be accessible to the main only. Okay, that is actually happening from the execution is actually started from main only. Okay, in C there is no word called class. But when it comes to the C++, in C++, method code can be written outside also, block code. Okay, but in Java it is very strict to write a method inside the class only. Okay, so if a code written inside the class, that is called as a method. If a code written outside the class is called as a function. Okay, code means a block. Okay, method function is similar. So this is about introduction to Java, history, versions and all. And next class we will discuss about the first step towards Java. Okay, so what are the comments, API document, starting of a Java program. Okay, remaining all we will discuss in the next classes. That's all for today. Thank you.